All right, it's a little early in the morning and I think the first thing I need is a cup of coffee, but the power's out. So let's use our little homemade Goal Zero here using a Mighty Max battery there. And our little battery meter here that currently says 12.7 on the battery. There we go. Let's get ourselves a coffee maker. That's 12 volts. And plug it on in there. Just like that. And then we need to add our water, of course. Can't just have coffee with no water. Water's been added. Got to add our coffee, of course. There we go. And turn it on. All right, so now our coffee maker is now making coffee. The voltage is obviously dropping a little bit there. Let's put that back there. But you know what? It's a little dark in here. So let's go ahead and get a light. But before we do that, we need to get something that'll power the light that also plugs into the battery. Just like that. There we go. And here's our light. Plug that on in there. There we go. Now we got some light. We're shedding some light on the situation here. There we go. But oh my gosh, it's so hot out. It's summer. So we got to get ourselves a nice little fan here. Notice it's not being battery powered. It's being powered by this blue cord here, which we're going to also plug into this thing here. There we go. And then turn it on. So now we got fan. We're nice and cool now. But hey, I got work to do today. So I got my iPad here, and I'm going to plug that on in there. Oh wait, it's fully 100% charged. Oh well. There we go, there's that. And I think that's all I got. That's all I got to plug in there now. So we got a coffee maker, we got a light, we got a fan, we got an iPad, all being charged or being run by one single battery. And it's all working great. Coffee is now being brewed. I wish I could show you guys that, but I can't because this slides open and then makes a mess if I do that. But we're actually making coffee now. Yes, sir. So I unplugged the iPad here so that this little meter here actually says how many volts are still in there. We're still at 11.9 under load. But I guess to make up for the iPad not being plugged in, I'll turn the fan on high. No real difference there. It's just making a lot more noise now. Oh, she's almost done. It was up here, now it's down to here. We're almost done here. After making one cup of, or just about one cup of coffee here, we've dropped our voltage from 12.7 all the way down to 11.8, but that is under load, and when we unload it, it will go back up again, so we'll see how much the battery has drained afterwards. Our inverter of choice is a Enercell from Radio Shack inverter that's supposedly able to do 150 watts all the way up to 300 for peak. Obviously, we're not drawing that much out of this. We've got a probably 4-watt light there, and I think maximum that's 18 watts on that fan over there. Uh-oh, 11.7. However, the coffee maker is just about done, and it's at 11.7, so we'll see how well that's doing. Actually, I forgot that the inverter also has a USB port on it. There you go. And with that, the voltage now drops to 11.6, so we're getting a little bit further down. All right, we are now at 11.5 volts, still under load. The coffee maker is just finishing off the last bits of water in the reservoir now. All right, and just like that, the coffee maker is now done, and the voltage is now creeping back up again. We're now at 12.2 volts. And now we're just gonna pour ourselves some of this delicious coffee. I don't know if you guys can see that. Actually, this pot that it comes with is actually a cup itself. I just don't like to use it for a cup. All right, let's take a taste of this battery-powered coffee. That's delicious. All right, so it's been about, I'd say 10 minutes in all of this experimentation here, maybe 10 to 12 minutes or so. The coffee maker turned off at around 10 minutes or so. And the fan is still running over there. The iPad is still charging, and the light is obviously, I don't know if it's obvious, but it's still on over there. And we're at 12.2, 12.1 or so volts there, according to that little guy right there. The coffee maker is now off because it doesn't need to be on all the time since I just had that coffee. But for the most part, this all worked. And if you weren't using the coffee maker to drain a boatload of the energy out of that battery, it wouldn't be too bad. Obviously, one thing that you probably should do is as soon as you can, I would charge this battery back up because lead acid doesn't like to be discharged for too long. But yeah, this actually did work. It's an absolute mess of wires to set all of this up, but it actually worked. I haven't tested how long the battery will run like a fan or a light or anything like that, but I'm assuming it's definitely longer than 10 minutes because the coffee maker takes about 150 watts all on its own just to run that, while the light over there is only 4 watts, and I think this fan over here is maybe like a maximum of 20 watts. So not too bad, I'd have to say. Although this fan can run off of its own Ryobi batteries anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to run it off of this thing. But it's just for a test. Anyway, guys, that's going to be all for me today. This has been battery-powered coffee. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.